This is investigation 2.3, problem D. We're going to be looking at 5, 6, and 7, and 8. For the directions for parts 1 through 8, write an equivalent expression, then choose one expression from each part, evaluate it, and explain why you chose to use that expression for the calculation. Here we have multiple parts. All right, so we're going to choose one expression, or we're going to write an equivalent expression first. So if I look at number 5, I see that I have negative 25.6 plus negative 4.4. From our algorithms that we've learned, we know that to add the negative is the same thing as if I were to simply subtract the positive. I have now created an equivalent expression to the first one. Next part. It says choose one expression from each part. I like to add more than I like to subtract. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this expression. Evaluate it. So let's solve for it. So I have negative 25.6 plus a negative 4.4. From our discussion over the last couple of days, because both of these are negative numbers, I'm going to end up taking the absolute value of them, so 25.6 and 4.4. I am going to add them together. And because they are the same sign, I'm going to keep that sign. I chose to use this expression over this expression because in my mind, this algorithm is a whole lot easier. They're the same sign. We're going to add them together and then keep the sign that was there, much like we did here. For number 6, we're now going to be dealing with fractions. So same thing, I need to first write an equivalent expression. So I have positive 3 halves minus 1 quarter. So an equivalent expression, I'm going to keep that first one. To subtract the positive, if I remember, is the same thing as to add the negative. I'm going to put parentheses in here just so I don't forget about that negative sign. Now, I have 3 halves plus 1/4. I need to find common denominators. So I know that 2 goes into 4. To get from 2 to 4, I multiply by 2. When I do the bottom, I must do the top and multiply by 6 plus negative 1/4. To add a negative is very similar to subtraction. So I now have 6 minus 1. So I have 5. I keep my denominators the same. And I get 1 and 1/4. Had I chosen to solve this one, it would have been fine. I could have had 6/4 minus 1/4. 6 minus 1 is 5. I keep the denominators, and I get 1 and 1/4. I would have chosen the subtraction on this one, because to me, 6 minus 1 makes more sense than 6 plus negative 1. For 7 and 8, I'm only going to help you with finding the denominators. So I know that I'm going to change that 4 into an 8. So I'm going to rewrite the original problem. Multiply that by 2, multiply that by 2. Now I need to figure out a subtraction equivalent. And then for number 8, negative 3 1/2 I'm going to change that into a mixed number. So I multiply 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And I need to change this into a fraction as well. That is currently 5 over 1. I want the denominator of 2, so multiply each by 2, and I get 10 over 2. I now need to write an equivalent expression that is an addition problem, evaluate one of them, and explain why I want